They're making you work straight through. Thanks so much.
Thank you, John. All right, we have Rudy Giuliani here on the curvy couch with us. Good morning to you, Mayor.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so let's talk first about the immigration. He's going to have this big speech rolled out this week. What can we expect?
Well, what we can expect is the clear things for sure. He's going to build a wall. It's going to be a technological as well as a physical wall, meaning
we hear 35 feet high with wall technology.
And with technology that can detect people 5-6 miles away, with technology that can detect people that can dig under the wall. You know, they always say we can dig under. There's plenty of technology that can prevent that. A wall not unlike the wall that was built in Israel, which Prime Minister Netanyahu himself has told me was the most effective thing in securing their border that they've done in about 10 years.
The wall is not in dispute, though. It's the immigration policy that some have said he might be softening on. The deportation part of it. Is he going to not deport? Is there a pathway to some sort of legalization? That's what folks are wondering at this point.
First of all, I think that's the part of it he has to refine and decide. But it's pretty much decided. And it'll be pretty much the same thing as he always said. First of all, he is going to increase significantly the number of Border Patrol, increase the number of immigration agents for a specific purpose. Stop them at the border and arrest the people that are here illegally. Now, since there are 11 million, 12 million, 13 million, 14 million, 15 million, we don't know. I don't know how many illegal are here. He's going to start in the right way. He's going to go after the most dangerous criminals first, then the less dangerous criminals second. And by the time we get there, then we'll see what our population is of non-criminal illegal immigrants. And I think that's the point at which he has to decide, are there some that have to be sent back because they're on welfare, because they're not producing, because they're not, because they're questionable? Or are there some that would have some kind of status, well short of path to citizenship, legalization? I don't know the answer to that. That's the debate. And I don't know if you can really decide that until you get down to that number.
Right.
The big objection that Republicans had throughout is, we want to do this in 2 stages. Stage number 1, let's get control of the border. Number 2, let's get rid of the criminals. And then number 3, we have a country that's so much calmer, a lot safer, and we have a country in which we can make more rational decisions about what do we do about how many remains. And it's your guess or mine as to how many that number is.
I think I thought it was admirable for him to say, I want to try to get the African-American community to realize that I want their vote. No one's asked for it. Bush, McCain, Romney have not done an effective job going after it. He started that about 2 weeks ago, at which time there's people listening, other people, there's been blowback. Here's Donna Brazile saying, I'm not buying this new outreach, and Hillary's really a friend to that community.
As I've watched this debate, this conversation about bigotry, about racism, I find it all misplaced. First of all, Donald Trump has not held an event in the black community. He has not gone to a black church, as Hillary Clinton has done. He's not gone to historical black colleges, Hillary Clinton. He's not met with the mothers of children who have been slain and killed from violence in this country, as Hillary Clinton has done.
Is that true?
Well, first of all, he is going to go to a black church. It's going to be more than one. That'll be the first. It takes time to build up those relationships. After all, the Republican Party hasn't had those relationships for, I don't know, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. So it isn't as if it's your natural constituency. You don't see Hillary Clinton going to Alabama or Mississippi or going to in fact, she wouldn't even meet with the mothers of the slain police officers, or the mothers whose children were slain by illegal immigrants, who were people who had committed crimes in the United States. She hasn't even talked about them or dealt with them. She's kept away from them. I mean, in fact, she's been hiding all summer. So I think it's a little hypocritical for these people who have criticized forever. The Republicans aren't making outreach to the African-American communities. Well, whether they like it or not, he is. And, of course, it's going to begin first by laying the groundwork for it, which he did in his speeches. And remember, he did some of those speeches in the Deep South, where people would say, gee, you shouldn't be saying that in the Deep South, maybe 20 or 30 years ago. Well, thank God nowadays you can say it in the Deep South, and you can get great applause for it. And educating white audiences on the idea that there's going to be an outreach to the black community, Hispanic community, white community, and we're all one.
Right.
I think in and of itself is a big contribution no Republican has ever made before. These people should say, we oppose Donald Trump on other things, but we applaud him for doing something we've been saying Republicans don't do for 20 or 30 years, but they're a bunch of hypocrites.
I want to talk to you about the war on cops. I want to get your opinion on this. Last night at the VMA Awards, Beyoncé, she walks the red carpet with the mothers of black men that were killed by police. And then this performance that you see here. Her dancers were circling around her, and one by one they fell to the ground, and there were red lights underneath them. And that was supposed to symbolize cops killing black individuals.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong person, because I had 5 uncles who were police officers, 2 cousins who were, and 1 who died in the line of duty. I ran the largest and best police department in the world, the New York City Police Department. And I saved more black lives than any of those people you saw on stage by reducing crime, and particularly homicide, by 75%.
So does that offend you, seeing those images?
Of which maybe 4,000 or 5,000 were African-American young people who are alive today because of the policies I put in effect that weren't in effect for 35 years. So if you're going to do that, then you also should symbolize why the police officers are in those neighborhoods, and what are you going to do about that, and what are you doing about it? Are you? To me, it's 2 easy answers: a much better education and a good job. And what the heck have you done? Like in Baltimore, when they all stood in Baltimore, I was sick when I saw all the politicians standing in Baltimore after the police situation and saying nobody's done anything for this community in 50 years. Well, that is a heck of a thing to say, because they've been in charge for 50 years, and they have failed the community. I didn't fail Harlem. I turned Harlem around. I didn't fail Bedford-Stuyvesant. I turned it around. Go there now. Go walk in Harlem, and then flash back to 25 years ago and go to Harlem before I was mayor. And one was a place where crime was rampant and no national stores, and now there's a thriving community in Harlem.
And Beyoncé is an extremely powerful, popular performer, and when she does stuff like that, that message for the next generation is pretty indelible. But thanks so much. Stick around, Mayor, because we booked you for 2. The brand new evidence coming your way showing an even deeper link between the Clinton Foundation and Hillary Clinton's State Department, along with a big announcement on Trump ads that are coming your way.
Plus, Brian, the wedding surprise of a lifetime.